Hey niece, what up, nephew? And welcome to another episode of the Young Aunties podcast. Here with your auntie Koi today. That is me, moi. How are you doing? I hope you are good and well wherever you are, niece and June bug. I hope that the end of your January and the beginning and transition into your February has been going smoothly. I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in every single week for more content. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in to last week's episode where we sat with Auntie Deandra, and we were able to speak to her, about creativity, about her beautiful platforms. Definitely make sure that y'all remember to go check her out on Instagram. Please, please, please go to the Instagram page, the Young Aunties Podcast on Instagram. All the information, description, and everything else is up there for her. Make sure y'all check that out and support Black women and Black creative women at that. So y'all, happy Thursday. Today is Thursday. It is actually 2 days before one of the most capitalistic days in the world, known as Valentine's Day. And what's no, 2 days? No, 3 days, technically, if we're counting hours. Either way, I hope you are in a season of love, whether it's self love, love of others, however you choose to love your plant, love your pet, whatever you need to do. I hope you are in a pocket of love and you are just in a good space overall. Me personally, just a little check in. If I were to be quite honest with y'all, this week has been challenging, enlightening, clarifying, shifting. At the end of the day, though, like God is really moving for me and He's doing an internal work. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't really know. I'm excited, kind of like to see where I end up in like the next couple months, like where I am progressing and how I can progress more and just how I can get better. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to grow with God. Like he's I don't have to like he not, it's me that gotta grow with him. You know what I mean? But this episode today, you guys, besides all of that, this episode today, it's just me. It's the me for y'all, okay? As the name of the title says, it's the me for y'all. Um, I recently started a new job this week, and my schedule has had me at work 8 hours a day. And it's so weird as a creative person, like not having the accessibility to my creative outlets, which is like the podcast or my YouTube channel. It's really so weird that I don't have the time for it anymore, but also in my job, I'm feeling fulfilled. It's a career I wanted to get into. I work for a real estate brokerage and I wanted to get into real estate. So it's really like God just working. So I'm not complaining about the time. However, my schedule wasn't the only one that was the issue. Trying to schedule another auntie to come by the house, see when she could pull up, has been difficult. So it's the me for y'all today. But hopefully, by next week, next episode, I can have an auntie for y'all that can grace us with her presence, her story, her inspiration, her self. Or maybe I need to get an uncle on here. I'm not too sure. Y'all let me know. Hit me up on Instagram, slide in my DMs, share your thoughts on this episode and previous episodes as well. I'm working on building content when I can in the midnight hours, Whew, y'all pray for your auntie Koi. But it's just us today. So hey, what's up? Thank you for pulling up to the house because your auntie Koi is here. It's just a couple things we need to discuss. I mean, we know what's been going on as of late. Okay, this is your auntie report. Ding, 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 ding. I need a theme song. I feel like I need a theme music or something for the auntie report. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But first on the auntie report, first up, a scandal happened that I didn't really expect. Not that I'm really invested in this world. Like, I don't do reality TV. I don't really watch reality TV shows. Truth be told, and we're going to get into this a little bit later, I watch a lot of like compilation videos. Like, I'll sit and watch an hour's worth of a season of a show, like The Real Housewives of Atlanta or, Love and Hip Hop or whatever. Like, I'll watch that compilation video from YouTube One, I don't have cable, but two, I also don't have the mental capacity or the time to get invested in the in the reality TV shows. Like, it's so much energy, and I'm not gonna hold y'all. Some of y'all that are fans, I'm not judging. You feel me? I just don't have the energy anymore. I feel like after I was around, and I'm not saying I'm old, but I was around at the beginning of these shows. Like, these shows have been around with the exclusion of like Love and Hip Hop, but these shows have been around for over 10 years. Like, I've seen this stuff for over 10 years. And at some certain point in time, I just wonder, like, when does it get old? Like, does it ever get old? But it just gets old for me. So I just choose to not watch it because it's old for me. But I say all that to say, because, these two that we about to talk about are reality TV stars, hip hop stars, and everything. Uncle, I don't even want to call him Uncle. These is cousins. I don't know who cousins. I don't know which side of the family y'all could pick. But T.I. and Tiny. Allegedly there's some calls going on, some talk is in the streets, um, about some sexual assault that's been happening at the juncture of their marriage. So when I first saw this article, of course, y'all know I love me a good Facebook article news section. And when I first saw this article, I was just like, T.I. and Tiny are in a sex scandal. I mean, from what I can understand, there was already rumor in the Atlanta streets that oh, excuse me, y'all, I had to let my cat out my room. Y'all know Pumpkin. Oh, y'all gonna know Pumpkin. Anyway, that there was rumor in the Atlanta streets or whatever that they was having, like, little sex orgies, or, some kind of situation, some kind of something was going on over at the house. But now it's it's a bad thing. It's looking real Mr. Cosby-ish, and I ain't see it coming. Like, what is our what's going on in in that black upper echelon? Like, what is this? Like, ew. Anyway, an article according to theguardian.com says that the title says allegations against T.I. and Tiny prompt call to support black sexual assault survivors. Activists with the hashtag #MeToo movement, along with the Time's Up and the National Women's Law Center, have spoken out in support of Black survivors of sexual assault in light of allegations made against the rapper Clifford T.I. Harris and his wife, the singer Tamika Tiny Harris. It says the scandal involving the rapper and former girl group member erupted over several weeks as women reportedly came forward to accuse the power couple of confiscating their cell phones and preventing them from leaving as the Harrises sexually assaulted them or other women in forced drug binges. Now, I know sometimes people want to make things a racial issue, like, oh, that's a white thing or whatever, or like that's white Hollywood. But we see already that in our black Hollywood sphere, drugs, drug addiction, overdose. I mean, just look at the latest in the last 2 years of deaths of young, talented black men that has something to do with a death or something to do, I'm not with a death, something to do with drugs or something of that culture, that caused them to lose their lives early. It's not so far off the ranch to believe that this is something that's just going on. You know what I mean? Like, this is just the culture that might be in the black hip hop world. I'm not saying everybody gets down with it, but I feel like this is not one of those situations where you walk in a room and you would be surprised to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you wouldn't be surprised, or like you shouldn't be. It's weird. Or if you are, I get it, because it's like, well, damn. But anyways, the article talks about basically how a spokesperson for the organization or someone was saying, we know countless of you have come forward with credible accusations of horrific sexual abuse and violence at the hands of Black celebrities. This is the activists and groups that wrote, from the group that wrote in a public letter. Like you, we are carrying the emotional weight of this news and know that we are reliving a collective trauma akin to the exposing of Cosby and R. Kelly. Now, only for a moment do I want to pause. R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, and maybe this is me being petty, I'm not sure, but I feel like the category of icon that Bill Cosby and R. Kelly are in is not the same realm of T.I. and Tiny. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're black Hollywood, they're black celebrities, and maybe it's because I just don't, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't value them the same, but I just feel like it's akin to it. But let's not, this is like an apples to oranges. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's an apples to oranges. Like, they're black celebrities, but the severity of, damage to who this person is, like, we already know T.I., I mean Tiny, like, okay, let's put it this way. This is just me, right? This is just Auntie Koi speaking. When I saw Tiny years ago freaking change her eye color, she left the country and went somewhere to for them to change her eyes. Like, it wasn't these are the only two you get in your life. You don't get new ones. You can't go buy them. They're not at Target. She changed her eyeball color. Her daughter, Zanique, I think her name is, did the same thing. When I saw Tiny, a black woman, leave the country to change her beautiful brown eyes to blue, there at that point I was like, yo, she got to be, maybe she on drugs, because there's no way I'm gonna let you. I mean, laser eye surgery is one thing. No, no. So when I saw that, and I mean T.I.'s mouth and his, track record and the environment that he kind of facilitates, and even, the little things I didn't agree with when I would watch the show Cup of Cut, not Cup of Cut, not Cryptochronic, kind of like, when I would watch or catch certain clips of their show, I think it's like the Family Hustle or whatever, I didn't necessarily totally agree with like his environment that he put out as a father. Like, it's just real little misogynistic in his house, but that's just me. But outside of that, it was just like, I mean, T.I. is smart. He's incredibly intelligent. He's very articulate. But at the same time, he a hood nigga with an education, like, with a dictionary. Like, I don't know, you feel me? So it was just like, I'm not really too, and I'm not trying to categorize us, but it didn't shock me that he could be involved in stuff like that, especially with like that whole Floyd Mayweather. Like, it was just a lot. Like, it's just characteristics of people that just irritated me. But I still said what I said. They're not in the caliber. They're not the same. And Cosby and R. Kelly, what R. Kelly did, we're not even gonna akin anybody else to him. We're not gonna compare Cosby to R. Kelly. Like, well, damn. Like, I mean, they both devils, but damn. Like, are you really? Okay. The article goes on to say that the letter was from Me Too activists, the NWLC, and Time's Up also chides American media organizations for failing to specifically cover Black survivors of sexual abuse. This tendency, quote, this tendency to ignore, mock, challenge, and discredit the stories of Black survivors is an attempt to coerce us into silence. And this, too, is an act of violence, it states. It, meaning the letters, it adds, the level of violence that has occurred against Black survivors for so long demands stories and headlines that center them across all media. The allegations against the Harrises first arose in January after the stylist Sabrina Peterson, a former friend of the couple, posted a shocking claim that the rapper had once pulled a gun on her again, not surprised, pulled a gun on her during a dispute with his wife and another client. Tamika Harris immediately shot back at the allegations. We're Miss Tiny. We're not going to You shoot back at allegations that we know are fact. Like, that's been proven. You will defend the lie. So we're not gonna do that. But she dismissed the beauty brand owner's claim, saying that Peterson, kind of had no point. It said Peterson has since claimed to have taken a polygraph test to verify her story. The attorney, Lisa Bloom, has been contacted for one of the women who's speaking out against Tiny, going on in the article to say that a statement was released to Complex Magazine from the Harrises, acknowledging that while their romantic life might be unconventional, they strongly deny any wrongdoing. They, quote, they emphatically deny in the strongest way possible the egregiously appalling allegations made against them. Egregiously and appalling. Um, if you know context, they kind of just said the same thing. Because I mean, the strongest way possible, the egregious allegations have been made against them. You know what I mean? Like, you're smart. You don't have to use all big words, but whatever. I honestly know from reading other articles that the fourth season of the show has actually been stopped. Like, they're not filming amidst, the allegations. And overall and all, like, I honestly, I'm not going to victim shame. I'm not going to victim bash. I stand by survivors of every color, race, and creed, Black women especially, because it's bad enough. There's so many areas of our lives, of our existence, that we are denied truth. Like, nobody believes us, no matter what we say. And it makes it so much harder when we attack each other or things happen and we can spot the liars amongst us, and we know that they're giving a bad rap for others. Like, we know women, we do know that women do exist, people do exist that lie, that will manipulate, that will abuse, their emotional power over others to get them to do things that they want. We know about Black women that abuse the fact that they have children with a man that they're bitter about, that left them, that might make it bad for new mothers, new baby mothers that don't have no beef, or don't want nobody to think they're the crazy baby mother if they baby daddy start dating somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, we know there's two sides to this coin, just like there's two sides to the coin with what people believe when we tell them and what they don't. Like, we can look at the medical field, and I don't know how into stats or facts y'all might be, but Auntie Koi is definitely into them things. And there's a book called The Medical Apartheid that, if you have not read it, I suggest you should, that talks about the history of the Black body in the medical field when it comes down to this country and the Black woman. Yeah, all these people out here, like, even these doctors, prime example, the OBGYN field, the obstetrician, gynecology, however you say it, the field that was built off of Black women bodies. Black women's bodies. No anesthetic, no nothing. The whole entire practice, the same practice that is now told to me since I turned 16, or since the moment I became sexually active, I have to go see this doctor. The field I'm going to go see was built off of my body. There's not too many practices in this country medically that have not been built off the Black body. So what we say, and like when Black women are having their issues in childbirth and so on and so forth, and doctors don't believe us and we're not getting the help that we're really supposed to get, it does not surprise me. It's sad, but it doesn't surprise me, because unfortunately that's the reality of where we live in, and the state of reality that we live in, more so. So I agree with the letter in the sense that, it is important, excuse me, there we go. It is important that Black women, or that the news starts to cater to black news, Black bodies, and saying what we need and when we need help. But I also have a question, because it's like, well, where was this same outrage that we needed national media coverage when all those Black girls went missing in DC? Where was it? And we, unfortunately, I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, as African Americans, we are very emotional, spiritual people. We feel everything. We respond based on how we feel. If you make me feel a certain type of way, I'm going to react this way. If you make me feel a certain type of way, I'm going to say this to you. If you piss me off or you make me feel a way, or like, even case in point, like, and it's not per Black people, but per our culture, what we've allowed to facilitate in our culture. You could step on somebody's shoes, you could look at somebody the wrong way, and you go missing the next day, or your family, now your mother got to bury her child. Like, we know that is a portion of culture, because we don't even like when somebody stare at us for too long. Okay, looking people up and down, like, what's your problem? Like, why are you looking at me? Because we feel you looking at us makes us uncomfortable. You didn't actually do physically anything to make me uncomfortable. You didn't violate my space just because you're looking at me. But if I register in my mind that you are a threat because of how you're looking at me, now we have a problem. Now we have an issue. Now it escalates to, I ain't like how she looked at me. And on top of that, we've also seen this personified and then beautified in media to younger generations, that this is how you are supposed to behave, and also in our own communities, in our own backyards, not even what we have on TV. So there's a lot of double side duality not even a double consciousness, as W.E.B. Du Bois would say, but a duality in being an African American, as being aware of yourself, the state of your culture, your portion to play in it, and also being able to be neutral about other topics and things that relate to us. So I hope and pray honestly that all the women involved, any victims and survivors, that they are believed, that someone does believe their story, whether this is T.I. and Tiny, if they really did this, if because it's all allegations, right? But if this is true and if proof comes up and whatever, right now it's all hearsay. But if any proof comes that's like, no, y'all really did this, just like Cosby and R. Kelly, like y'all going, I'm sorry, we 2021, I'm not tolerating it. So you can go. You're problematic. All your kids, y'all can have a nice life wherever God gonna put you. But I'm over it. Moving on to one of the biggest stories in social media right now, Miss Tessica Brown, also known as, and I don't really like this acronym to her, but Gorilla Glue Girl. Now, before I read this article, which I strongly feel like I probably won't have to read it, but for context, I'm going to. My original opinion when I first heard about this story was, you gotta be fucking kidding me. There's no way in hell you mistake Gorilla Glue, and I have Gorilla Glue in my house. There's no way in hell I'm gonna mistake Gorilla Glue with a gorilla on the front in an orange background to like Gorilla Snot or Got to Be Glued, which is totally different branding and totally different color palettes. Like it's in a totally different aisle in the store. So when I first heard the story, I was just like, this is a joke. Like this has got to be for clout. This has got to be, for somebody to become famous. She can't be real. And then as it started to develop and more videos started to come out about, her sharing her testimony and like this woman really showing like she's in pain. Like she was in pain because we're gonna talk about it, but she was in a lot of pain. Like she was desperate for a solution. Now, how she got into the situation, from what she said from the TikTok video, was like she was rushing to do her hair. She had somewhere to be. She was rushing. She ran out of her got to be glue spray. And in running out of her got to be glue spray, she grabbed the next thing in her home, or I guess that was available to her that made sense at the time, which just so happened to be the Gorilla Glue hardwood spray. Now, I believe reading is fundamental. And I'm going to read this article before I give y'all the rest of my opinion. So, from the New York Post, right? It says, Gorilla Glue Girl Tessica Brown's GoFundMe tops 20K after surgery. So, now this is a story that has been developing for over a week and a half now. So, this article actually came out today, the day I'm recording this for you guys, which is February 11th. This article came out today from the New York Post. So, if you haven't heard it, here we go. It says Gorilla Glue Girl Tessica Brown's GoFundMe page topped more than $20,000 in donations. Just to give context, she had started a GoFundMe page to start collecting money for wigs that she said everybody was telling her she was gonna need. She didn't set it. She set a limit for 1,500, but people kept giving, so that's how we got to this 20,000 in donations right now. Made more than 20,000 in donations Thursday after doctors finally removed the sticky stuff through surgery. The 40-year-old, oh, I didn't know she was 40. The 40-year-old Louisiana woman whose hair had been stuck solid for a month after she used the super glue as a hairspray substitute started the fundraiser on Monday. So in 4 days, she earned, or they was donated over $20,000, which is pretty dope. She raised more than $13,000 in just one day, and by Thursday afternoon, that number surged to $20,577. The fundraiser, started by Brown and a relative, and using a photo from her visit to the emergency room, did not detail what she used the cash for. That's something that she physically said out of her mouth. Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Michael Obeng, I want to say he has an African last name, but shout out to this man, offered to perform her surgery, a $12,500 procedure, for free after hearing about the hair raising ordeal. Can we thank you, Dr. O? I'm not going to disrespect you by messing up your last name, but thank you, sir, for your heart and your hospitality and your services and your talent and your compassion and your empathy, because this woman literally, and honestly, this is how God work, right? Like, we can be upset and think that she did all this or whatever, but honestly, this stuff was really stuck in her hair. Like, it doesn't change the fact that at the end of the day, whether she did it because she had a lapse of judgment, or she wasn't paying attention to the details, or she did it for whatever nefarious reasons, this stuff was really in her hair. Like, eventually, it was gonna have to come out. She really needed help. So I'm really, really grateful that he did it, and for free. Like, that's a over $10,000 procedure. What insurance gonna cover that? What HMO, PPO, what plan that fall under? Like, that you need this procedure done. Plastic surgery? You want to see a plastic surgery? No, absolutely not. So thank you, Dr. O, for performing the surgery for free. You are valued. Um, it says after the procedure, someone asked her, "How's it feel to feel your hair like that again?" Someone can be heard asking Brown after the 4-hour procedure. I have seen an article that said it would have took 3 days to do the surgery, so I'm glad that it was only 4 hours. She said, "Now I wish I would have waited to cut my ponytail off," Brown says. Brown has an attorney and is weighing litigation against Gorilla Glue. So hold on a second. Let's take a pause, okay? We're pausing here because I have an update. There was a Facebook video. I literally watched it last night. I don't know if y'all know who she is, but her name is MJ or Melisha. I want to say it's Melisha or Melissa. I'm not too sure. It's spelled MEL like Larry, IC like Charlie, IA Johnson on Facebook. She's a correspondent for ET or Entertainment Tonight, and she actually had an interview with Tessica, where she sat down with her and she talked. And after listening to the interview, I was just like, I understand where she's coming from. I get the sympathy, to feel bad for her and so on and so forth. And I saw a post that was like, why are black people mad at her for this mistake? It's like, listen, or calling her like dumb or whatever for the mistake. Whether she was black, white, brown, yellow, or pink, I would have still thought this was dumb. Only because at the fact that I know what Gorilla Glue is, I know what Gorilla Snot is, and I know what Got to Be Glue is. These are all three different products. Two of these products are on the same aisle. One product, if you can't even go to the Walgreens and find, Gorilla Glue unless you looking for it. That is in a whole nother aisle. Hardware, so on and so forth. There's a warning label on this can. There's labels on the front of the can for what it says it's for. I cannot, and y'all gonna have to help Auntie out with this. Make it make sense for me. I cannot rationalize you looking at a can that tell you on the front of it what you can use it for. Hardwood floors, ceiling, concrete, permanent. I can't see me looking at a can with these keywords and still saying I'm gonna put this in my hair. On the can itself, on the back, it say, do not ingest, do not get in your eyes, do not watch it on your skin and your nails. Those things, your skin and your nails, automatically, why would you put it in your hair? That's your skin, and the same material that your hair is made of is your nails. It's called keratin. So if it say not on your skin, it say not on your nails, it say not in your damn eyeballs, why would you put it in your hair? Rush or not. And in her interview with MJ, she was like, if she could go back, she would just put a hat on. And I watched Funky Dineva on YouTube. He did a commentary video on it, and he was just like, at what point did you realize you fucked up? Like that was where my question came, because her hair was in this situation for a month before, from what she said, before she put the video out on TikTok. Her hair was like that for a month. She said she tried to wash it out the next day and it didn't come out. But my question, or she tried to wash it out after that. But my question is, like, when does it come to you that you might have fucked up? When you can't wash it out of your hair? When you don't know, like, when does it happen? Because a lot of us, or a lot of people that are upset or confused, it's just like, because if it was a white person, and I'm not saying this to say it, but I'm saying it anyway. If this was a white person, it was white people, white kids that started that eating Tide Pods mess. Let's not forget, okay? It was white kids that started that. It's been a lot of white kids that started a lot of stupid shit. No cap. So when I first heard it, some white shit. We not putting black people. I'm not putting gorilla glue in my hair. It's not happening. It's not gonna work. I don't care how bad my hair look. Guess who ain't going outside? Guess who about to find a t-shirt to make a scarf? We about to turban this bad boy up. Put a pair of leggings on my head. What you talking about? I feel bad for her in the sense that she was in pain, and she really was in a painful situation, and it really hurt a lot. I'm in gratitude, utmost gratitude, that God put it in Dr. O's heart to perform this procedure for this woman for free. 4 hours. 4 hours he did this procedure to wash this stuff, get this stuff out of her hair, and she's good now. I pray that she has no health complications from this stuff sitting on her scalp, on the top of her head where her brain is, for over a month. Like, I pray her hair can grow back, or can grow, be healthy after that, because I would just wear wigs the rest of my life, honestly. I would never, after making that mistake once, I would never touch my hair again. And you know what's bad? And I laughed when I saw it, but there was an article I saw about this. And it said that she was talking about, how she felt about it and what her emotions were about the situation. And she said she really needed, this is before the procedure, she's saying she really needed a solution, because her own daughter, like the baby, wouldn't let her do her hair. Like, would not. Your own kid said, no, mommy, you can't do my hair because you did your hair, and look at your hair. Like, that's a baby. That baby got more common sense to say, look what you did to you. I don't want you to do that to me. No. How she had more common sense than her mama? But we gonna digress and pray her strength in the Lord, because that's all we can do, honestly. But moving on, in an area of life where I know I have to grow, I know I feel. Hold on, y'all bear with me. I'm a little thirsty more than usual because I ain't talked this straight, since I started this podcast. But I'm having fun. I hope y'all having fun. Slide in my DMs. Let me know if you enjoying this episode so far. But have y'all ever had a thought to yourself like, what what would I never do? Or like, if I had to go to jail, like, have you ever thought about this scenario? I don't know. I have. If I ever had to go to prison for life, like, I'm never getting out. Like, my freedom is done. I'm not even up for parole. What would be the thing that would send me there? And I mean, when I was younger, it was, little petty stuff like girl fights, or somebody said something about me, whatever, whatever. And then as I started to really understand the difference and respect, and like how you give respect and get respect, and just certain shit you do and don't do, that list changed and it got a lot smaller. Um, Now I don't really know if I would be willing to go to jail. I might do something to get on parole, but this in particular would definitely send me. You're not gonna spit on me. And you might live, but I'm definitely gonna go away for assaulted battery, assault with a deadly weapon, almost homicide. Like, I'm going away because I couldn't. There are people that in this world that are just meant for certain jobs. And this story of the TikTok video about the elderly lady that spit on her caregiver, the African American caregiver, and she did not spit on this woman once, but twice. And she didn't get swung on. She still got her dentures in the cup. God is real. Let me read the article from whatstrending.com. It says that TikTok is going crazy. This article came out the 9th of February. It says TikTok is going crazy after a video was posted exploiting racism in today's society. Stretch, but let's keep reading. An African American caregiver filmed the moment an elderly white woman she cares for, spat on her multiple times. Early today, a video was posted on TikTok, showing how the elderly white woman was physically harassing and trying to intimidate her African American caregiver as she was washing dishes. The caretaker, I'm not going to keep saying it because the article said it. The caretaker, who has not yet been identified, remained very calm and continued to do her job without reacting to the harassment. Within 9 hours of posting the video, it gained 2.1 million views, 132.4 thousand comments, and 126.3 thousand shares. In the video, the white woman spat, 3 times, at her caregiver, saying who was washing dishes before the elderly woman took a bite out of some food and spit it out at her. Hold on. Because I'm bugging or I gotta read that twice. In the video, the white woman spat 3 times at her caregiver, saying who was washing dishes before the elderly white woman took a bite out of some food and spit it out on her. She continued to say, "You want some more?" as the caregiver would stop and look at her, trying to stop and wipe the spit off her face. Since the caretaker did her due diligence by remaining respectful to the elderly woman's age and to her workplace by just continuing to do her job, many of those in the comment section reacted to her classy action. I'm gonna just back it up a second. I think it's important that we give context to what caretakers and caregivers really do when they take care of elderly patients. And we also have to keep in mind elderly people, elderly patients, not just especially white people or white women, but the rate of deterioration of your brain as you get older. If you get a disease like dementia or Alzheimer's or some other condition that compromises your cognitive ability, I think it makes it very muddy territory to throw racism on this rather than just disrespect. I think that there might be more context behind why the caretaker was so calm. Maybe she knows that her client has a mental illness, has a health problem, something is actually wrong with her, and this is who she is or who she's turned into. Um, over the course of towards the end of her life. However, plain devil's advocate, if this elderly white lady is perfectly fine and in her right mind at least 23 hours of the day, and she spit on her knowing what she was doing, God bless her. Because it's not the first time that I've seen clips or videos of elderly white people harassing people of color. And the conversation goes to their mental health automatically. And I don't think that should be a scapegoat. I'm not saying that that's fair for us to say, oh, well, they're old, so they're crazy, or they're old, or they're demented, or they're old, or their mind isn't too sharp. Because my aunt, God give her life, and she's still here, is 84 years old, still driving her car, shoveling in front of her house, laying salt. You understand what I'm saying? Getting on ladders to put up decorations for Christmas at 84. So I'm not. I'm gonna throw that olive branch only but so far. I pray, given that the caretaker kept her cool, kept her professionalism, and I feel like if we were to have a conversation with a CNA or a nurse's aide or someone that works in an old folks home or elderly home or an assisted home, I feel like we would have a lot more stories. Like, this is really not uncommon because people that don't work in the medical field or don't work in health services, you really don't know people. Like, if you don't work with people, you really don't know people. And sometimes when you have to take care of somebody, and I'm comparing apples to oranges, but we in the same aisle, okay? Working in, like, in service jobs, period, whether that's serving somebody food or wiping their ass because they're old and decrepit, whichever way it go, you really find out how people are, more so how you are, but definitely how people are when it comes down to how they treat you when they're sick. And you know how somebody might treat you when they sick because you might take care of sick people in your life anyway. You got some people that just turn real ornery or real mean when they sick. And I don't like to take care of people like that. But either way, I pray the best for the caretaker, and I honestly hope, not saying I'm wishing it on her, but I hope and pray that that old white lady really got a mental problem. Because if she don't, you better hope that caretaker don't have no nieces that got time. What? You better hope she don't. You better go ahead, Miss Mary, before you fall down these steps. Go ahead. See, that would have been, I couldn't have been her caretaker. I'd be like, Miss Mary, if you don't sit your old ass, that would have been me. That would have been the day. Coy, you're not being professional. You can't speak to the clients like that. No, 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 no. Fuck that. I told Miss Mary to go sit her happy ass down because she'd been playing around all fucking day, want to spit and shit. And I saw her face like she was going to form her lips to let saliva fly in my direction. And I told her to go sit down because I'm not going to let nobody. It's COVID time. COVID. The virus is in the respiratory droplets of your throat and nose and lungs and all the other crap. You know what come out your mouth? Saliva. Same damn factory. I'm not playing with you. You're not gonna spit on me. And I'm taking 2 weeks off. And y'all gonna pay me. It couldn't have been me. It really couldn't have. It really couldn't have, because I might not come back to work. As Funky Dineva said in his video. And I agree. I would have called my office. I would have finished my dishes. And it better not have been at the start of my shift. Because I'm calling and I'm telling them you need to send somebody else here because I'm leaving. Yeah. You're gonna leave. I'm leaving. Y'all don't pay me enough for me to let nobody spit on me. Good night. Go to hell. Thank you. Next. In better news, 2021 has a bright spot. We've been going through a lot lately, but we have a bright spot. Did y'all hear? Because impossible things are happening every day. The only version of Cinderella we hear recognized at the Young Aunties podcast is with Brandy Norwood and the late, great mother Whitney Houston. Impossible. Okay? And the impossible has happened. Recognize. Yo, for years. Listen, let me explain something to y'all. First of all, I don't know if y'all know, but it's my movie. It's the 5-year-old girl in me happy place. I could watch Cinderella all damn day. I know every song. I know every costume. I know all the settings. I done watched the behind the scenes 11,000 times. This is my movie. I don't know if it was me as a young impressionable black girl seeing a beautiful black girl who I was already obsessed with. I was already obsessed with Brandy as the artist and her on TV. But like, yo, her as Cinderella? Are you kidding? The first black Disney princess. Y'all not gonna do Auntie B like that. Y'all not gonna do Auntie Brandy like that. She is the first black Disney princess. How could you not? I know every song, See Me in Karaoke Night, but regardless, this song is my this article that came out on AtlantaBlackStar.com is my happy place, has been my joy portion of my joy, because God is my joy, but a portion of my joy on this earth all week. Because the article goes on to say, you inspired every little black girl to dream. She did. She did. Brandy's iconic portrayal of Cinderella is set to stream on Disney Plus. Let me read the article before I get too excited. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Because my excitement. Okay, my excitement. All right. The Disney streaming service is making big moves during Black History Month by adding its live version of Cinderella to the platform on February 12th, which means y'all are going to be hearing this on February 13th. So I really hope that you watched it in support with me. The movie came out in 1997. I was born in 95. Don't judge me because I already know. Don't do me. Brandy, who was 18 at the time, made history as the first Black woman to portray Cinderella. Houston, the singer's longtime mentor, carried the role of her fairy godmother. I'm not even going to go into details about the movie itself. Um, Y'all need to watch it and just know that that made me happy. But before we get out of here, there's something I want to just, kind of pick y'all brain about and see where y'all at with it. We all have our guilty pleasures. We all enjoy things, that we might not let everybody else know we watch. And I already told y'all my thing is compilation videos on YouTube. It's a thing for me. I love it. And recently, I got into cheating compilation videos because before I've watched, like the road rage, like those things just remind me, girl, you do not have road rage. These people got a problem. You're normal. But this cheating compilation, I was just watching it like, yo, that's wild, that's crazy, da da da. But it wasn't until it got to the end, and that's what I want to bring it to my nieces and my nephews because I need to know what would you do if it was you? Because I'm gonna tell y'all what I would do if it was me. And this is probably something else that I would go to jail for. This would be a crime of passion. This would definitely get me under the jail with no parole. So in this video, right, there's a husband, black, and now they black. He black. I don't know if she black. He black. Him and his boy is in the car, and he on the phone. At first, he called his wife. I'm going to assume it's his wife or his girlfriend or whoever, his woman. He called his woman and he said in the video, he heard a man's voice in the background. Now, that shouldn't be the case because she should be home by her damn self, right? He started to get a little emotional and it started to break my heart because I was like, yo, either he's really pissed or he's really, really, really sad. And you could hear the emotion in his voice. So he called his wife and they're on the phone and he asking her, what are you doing? And she's like, nothing. And then you hear her moan. And he was like, I know. He's like, I know I ain't just here. You don't know nigga over there, bruh. I know you not moaning the phone. Like, what is going on over there? Nothing. I'm watching TV. She moaning again. Now she on speaker, mind you. His friend is in the passenger seat recording the conversation that he's having. The husband or the man, he's trying to get some kind of clarity because he's on his way. He out. You know what I'm saying? He out. He ain't even at the house. He on the way. He wherever he was going, he is now on the way home. You understand what I'm saying? This woman, y'all, I did help me, family, and I'm gonna let y'all go on this. It couldn't be me. First of all, one, as the wife. I got a thing. I'm very faithful in relationships. I don't play the cheating game. I have no time to take too much patience to cheat on people and then still play like you faithful. Not to mention this Maury story I saw where the fiance was cheating on her fiance's. She was cheating on him with his best friend for 5 years. And my question was just like, how long was y'all together? And he ain't never noticed. How you cheat on your fiance for 5 years to get married? Anyways, besides the point. This scenario specifically of this husband driving home couldn't be me because my mind started thinking too much. First thing first, if I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't need no distractions. So I'm not even answering my phone. You just gonna have to walk in on me. I'm not picking up my phone. Second thing, why would you answer the phone and you know what you're doing? Obviously, she don't care about his respect. She don't care about his feelings. She did it on purpose. And that's like really, really fucked up. But this is another reason why I wouldn't do it because I feel like I watch too much crime TV shows. I watch too much Dateline, way too many episodes of Snapped to be healthy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing that because I don't know how close he is to the house. I don't know if he by himself or not. I don't know if he had a really, really bad fucking day and this shit just sent him over the edge. I'm not doing it. As a husband, as my partner, as a woman, I'm thankful I'm not in a relationship. More so, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the growth that God has given me because at one point in time, with the way I was, bless him, okay? It would have been no questions. I would have heard it the first time. I wouldn't have called back. It would have been a pull up. I thought I heard something. I'm not calling you back, let alone am I about to sit here and listen to you having an affair on the phone with me. Why? And I never understood, even when my friends, like some of my old girlfriends, would think it would be funny. You getting your back broke. Why did you answer the phone? What does it look like? Text me and tell me, girl, I'm call you late, or just call me. Don't fucking, you know what? Don't even text me. Don't call me. Don't let me know you tried to contact me. If you are currently moving the furniture in your bedroom with somebody else, please do not call or text me or answer the phone. If I call you, let it ring. Don't you disrespect me like that. In a relationship, though, this how you bounce back from that. There's no way to bounce back from that. I called you and you had another man in my house that I pay rent. Yo, sent me through the roof. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I was just like, yo, there's no follow up. I was trying to find it on YouTube, y'all. I promise you, I was trying to find it on YouTube to watch a follow up video to find out what happened. I couldn't find no information. So if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all do some research helping it out or whatever. But I want to know what happened. I pray that she was playing, because some people got a real jacked sense of humor, like for real. And that's not funny. I feel like that's not playing territory. I feel like you playing with your life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that that's something you should joke about. But what do y'all think? Do y'all, like, could it have been y'all? What would y'all have done if you called your significant other, your partner, whoever you kicking it with, blase, blase, blah, blah, and females too? Let's be clear. Men, y'all are not slick. If I call you, I know. You understand what I'm saying? Because if we doing it, I know. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna play this game. I feel like men might have a little bit more respect because they focus and they gotta concentrate that they wouldn't answer the phone, or if they do, they keep the conversation brief. I don't have the patience. You see, this is probably why I'm gonna join a convent at the end of the year because I don't have the patience to play these in between games. I don't like the gray area. It don't really do too well with me. Communication is everything. But in this instance, yeah, you could have shot my phone. Yeah, with a 12 gauge shotgun. It could have been destroyed. I didn't need that. But niece, Neff, I'm gonna let y'all go. Let me know what you think of this whole conversation we done had today. I have genuinely enjoyed talking to y'all. I'm sorry if I was a little winded with some stuff, but Auntie Koi is wordy. I like to get my thoughts out. This is one of the best ways I get my thoughts out. Actually, believe it or not, and y'all probably might not be here for this part, but this is actually a form of therapy for me. Like, I started recording my voice. Like, if I would go through something very, upsetting, or have a really emotional day, or something pissed me off, I would start recording myself. Because I needed to talk to somebody, and I didn't want to talk to my friends because I felt like I didn't want to have to explain I couldn't explain my real feelings behind things with my friends. But I would go in my car, sit in my car, and just hit record and just go off and then feel so much better. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by the house. This is a form of therapy for me. This is just conversation. I enjoyed this. I hope we can actually do more solo videos. Solo videos. Oh my gosh. Obviously, my mind is on me making a YouTube video. But I hope we can do more sessions like this, more episodes like this. I genuinely love the family and the community that is building, and I'm excited to see where this goes over time. But y'all share y'all thoughts with me in my DMs. Make sure you comment under the post that's going to be on Instagram. Your thoughts, your regards, all the other good stuff. I love you. Thank you so much for pulling up to the house with your auntie today. And you go be blessed and you have a great week. And I will hopefully, prayerfully, talk to y'all next week. Deuces.